Hit me with the answer.
Okay, it's the word devalue I want you to think about. I have a friend who's wicked rich because I live in Las Vegas, so we have people that are wicked rich. And I was talking to him about the joy of every jazz, really every jazz track being available. Stuff that was really, really rare is now up on YouTube.
Correct.
You can find stuff anywhere. And I said, well, you can now have everything. We can now have the entire collection. And he said, you know, it's not enough for me to have everything. I want other people not to have it. I want to have some sort of special thing. I think
that's creepy.
Yes, it is. But think about it. Your use of the word devalue, just because something wonderful becomes plentiful, does not make it less valuable. Now, if you don't connect all the learning, all the joy, all the love, all the compassion to something physical, and that can move around the world at the speed of light. If my children, who are now in Orlando at Minecraft convention, if they could have, while I was here talking to you, access to so much of me, so much of my mind, so much of who I am, and I could also get that back, is that devalue it because I'm somewhere else?
But there's a difference.
I know you're talking about after death, but
I agree. I agree with you on that. But you already see it happening where people are not real anymore. Sometimes people just aren't real, and
people
so
say that all the time, and I just don't believe it. I've met people that I've just met online, and I've had a long relationship with them.
I'm not saying everybody.
And then when I meet them in person, there's just a whole joy of jacking that up to the next level.
What would you say about, because we were just talking about Hitler was a crazy man.
And that's something we have to talk out.
Yeah, we had to talk that out.
You know, it'll be another one of those things. Hear what Glenn Beck said crazy today? He said Hitler was crazy.
But we were just talking about that. But it took a lot of people to execute crazy.
Yeah.
Okay? And they weren't all crazy. They just devalued life. I mean, it really is In Search of Meaning. Who wrote the book, In Search of Meaning?
The Banality of Evil?
Yeah, Tiffany, what's his name? In Search of Meaning. Anyway, Man's Search of Meaning. He was a concentration camp victim, and he was sitting there. Yeah, Viktor Frankl, and he was sitting there, and he's like, nothing had meaning anymore. Life had meaning. No, death didn't have meaning anymore.
But you can't take the negative and push it right on the positive. The fact that they took human beings and through all sorts of political means and horrible means turned them into animals in the people's minds, made their life mean nothing. That's a lot different than taking your grandmother's life that means everything to you and letting it be shared for a longer period of time with more people. I think that the idea that my voice talking to my daughter in Florida somehow takes away my voice in person, I think is
I would agree with that.
Is pushing for dystopia where there might not really be any.
Malcolm Gladwell, let's start where we ended. Malcolm Gladwell said that the one technology he wishes it could be de-invented would be cell phones. That's why I don't carry one. I don't need to bet. Well, is there anything that you would look and go, I just wish this hadn't happened?
Oh boy, it's just not the way I think.
Yeah.
It's just not the way I think. I try to know what's coming out and be excited about it and move forward, and I don't try to think of that woulda, coulda, shoulda stuff. Because, cell phones are just this little blip. The next step will be solving the texting while driving problem. All that stuff we're trying to solve, which is really dangerous, horrible stuff. And we need to solve it with humanity. But while we're doing that, the technology solves it too.